Hello guys, today we are going to present you our work and researches about the power distance. But first, let me introduce our group. I am Jules Aubry, and with me there are Maxime Dussault, Ruben Bloom, Yongjae Kim, and Dongyun Lee. First, here are our steps for the presentation. First, we are going to talk about the fathers of power distance, Mark Mulder and Dirk Hofstede, which are two Dutch psychologists. Then we'll talk about what is power distance and how you measure it. And then we're gonna illustrate with a short video. So let's start with Mark Mulder. He is born in 1922 and he died last year. He is a Dutch social psychologist and he is considered the power distance father in the 60s. Power distance father means that he is the first one that worked on on those terms. In his experiment, he concluded that people in low power distance culture attempted to seek power distance reduction, and he found that privileged individuals tend to try to preserve and increase power distance. But less powerful individuals try to decrease the power distance between themselves and their superiors. From this finding, it shows that it's similar like equilibrium, because power holders desire and powerless people desires were going opposite direction. It looks like a condition of equilibrium. Geert Hofstede, who was born on the 2nd of October 1928, is a Dutch social psychologist with notable work, the cultural dimension theory, that we will show in the next slide. He is an IBM former employee. It's during this time that he did his research with over 100,000 questionnaires. This was one of the largest cross-national databases that existed. He is known for his books, Cultures, Consequences and Cultures and Organizations, Software of the Mind, to introduce the six dimensions. As we told you, Geert Hofstede mostly worked on a model of national culture consisting in six dimensions during his life. The cultural dimensions represent independent preferences for one state of affairs over another that distinguish countries, rather than individuals, from each other. Results are from more than 70 countries. The country's causes on the dimension are relative, and that we are all human and simultaneously we are all unique. In other words, culture can only be used significantly by comparison. That's why we will compare all three countries, South Korea, France, and Netherlands, in the next slide. Here are the six dimensions: individualism versus collectivism, uncertainty avoidance, masculinity versus femininity, long-term orientations versus short-term orientations, indulgence versus restraint, and the one we are focused on, the power distance.
So, what is the power distance? In definition, power distance is the level of acceptance of people who have no power of the unequal spread of power in their society. The interesting aspect of phrasing the power distance definition is that it is written from the perspective of people who have no power. The definition loses all or most of its value if you leave it far out. In other words, if one already has the power, it does not matter much if people who have no power accept this or not. Much like having wealth or money. If you have wealth or lots of money, it does not matter much if other people don't have as much.
A slide shows low power distance culture examples. First one is independence. People are relatively independent of power holders like parents, teachers, or boss. And people have a good reason for hierarchy in low power distance culture. When there are hierarchical layers, there must be a good reason for this. Putting a management layer or manager in place just like that will not easily be accepted. Next one is what goes on for you goes for me. It means equality. If you are allowed to do this, then I'm allowed to do the same as well. The last one is open door policy. This could literally mean that the door of the manager is open or that the management of company is not automatically on the top floor of the building. And right side indicates high power distance culture examples. These are totally opposite of low distance cultures. People are relatively dependent on the power holder. This could result in subnets not taking an initiative but rather waiting for the boss to give instructions. Hierarchy is just there. In other words, it is exchanger and it's considered good and normal. There are special treatments for people who have power. For example, parking place in front of the building and good staff in their office. Gatekeepers are those people who keep the power holder away from the people who have no power. Often the power holder derives a certain level of status from not being approachable.
To measure and define the power distance, for example to compare countries, there is a power distance index, PDI. It works with certain points which are plotted on a scale from 0 to 100. A score close to 0 stands for a smaller power distance, and a score close to 100 stands for a large power distance. There is a fixed method to calculate the PDI, created by Hofstede. On this map, you see a lot of countries scored with PDI, and the color of the country stands for the PDI score. Red means a big power distance, and the less dark, the less power distance. As we can see, Russia has a big power distance, along with some Eastern and Middle Eastern countries. The Northern European countries like Scandinavia, the Netherlands and Germany do have a smaller power distance. This is evident throughout the whole culture. What also stands out is that there are a lot of countries with a grey color. This means there is no data yet about these countries.
Let's see the chart of power distance to compare our countries. In this chart, France PDI is 68 points, South Korea PDI is 60 points, Netherlands PDI is 38 points. If we compare this index to other countries, France is 50th and South Korea is 28th and Netherlands is 40th in the world. In summary about power distance, in small power distance countries like Netherlands, subordinate staff members depend on their boss and prepare interdependencies between boss and subordinate. In a country with large power distance like France or South Korea, there is dramatic phenomenon between dependency and anti-dependency. In this case, the psychological distance between the subordinate and boss is huge. Therefore, it is rare for the subordinate to approach his boss directly and express his plan. Also, for example, France children are raised to be emotionally dependent on their parents, and this dependency will be transferred to teacher and later onto superior. Therefore, it is a society in which a fair degree of equality is accepted. Power is not only concentrated in a company and government, but also geographically. Just look at the road grid in France. Most highway lead to Paris, but in Netherlands you can see the highways spread evenly. Okay, Ruben. First, could you please knock the door before entering? What are those manners? And then, why are you using my first name? I told you to use Mr. Aubrey. Do you think we are equals or?
Oh, sorry, I'm not used to these protocols. I will try my best in the future.
I hope this doesn't happen again. Have you finished the work I gave you yesterday?
No, I still have better things to do.
What did I tell you? You should have done it for today. It's the #1 priority.
But
Nothing! Just do your job. You are paid for that. Do what I say, not what you think is best. Okay, I'm done with you. Go to Maxime's office.
Okay, Jules.
Mr. Aubrey!
Fuck those French bosses always. Man. Hey Maxime, how are you, my friend?
First of all, I'm not your friend. And then, why are you here?
Mr. Aubrey told me to go here, and
I don't have any time for you. Go to Dragon's office.
putain, all the French are the same. Get tired of it. Hey, Dragon. You don't see that?
I'm currently in my break time. I'm losing my break game. Go to the Donghyun's office.
I don't understand. Even the Korean guy is as worse as the French.
Come in.
Good afternoon, Matthew.
Just call me Julian.
I don't get it anymore. I don't know how to behave anymore.